What's up, y'all? I'm Quincy. We are on day 28. 28. Could you imagine? There was 27 other redesigned projects that I went through for this past 27 days. Insane. So, if you don't know, I'm design manager, principal designer, anything with design I can do. So we are on this amazing day, which is 28. And where are we going to redesign something? What are we going to redesign? 1-800-Flowers has allowed me the ability and the chance to redesign something of theirs by rejecting my application. So they didn't want me to work for them. No problem. I'm going to redesign something of yours. And we're going to get into it. If you don't know the story already, watch the other 27 days. You'll get the backstory on why I'm doing this. But we are on this 30-day challenge. 2 more days left of this. And I'm ready. Let's go make this happen. All right? Let's get it. All right, we are on 1-800-Flowers website. And I mean, yeah, it's a website. It's a cool website. Got a lot of things going on here. Go ahead, spoil them. Let's go. And I'm talking about, your spouse or significant other, essentially. Got to make sure I do my thing for Valentine's Day. I have a daughter and a wife, so I need to do something for both of them. So this is just a reminder. I need to do this as I have been going through this project, just a reminder. So, this is our website. I mean, it's nice. I got nothing wrong with it, but we're still going to redesign something of theirs. So, but let's take it to their social media. So we are on Instagram and, they have just things going, things happening. One thing I do not enjoy about this is there's no logo on their post, especially a post like this. This is a design post that a designer purposely put together, showing their products essentially. So, but there's no logo at all. So if this were to forward to somebody or this graphic downloaded and sent to someone, no one would know where it came from. That's not what you want to do as far as creating social media collateral. Even this. You want to make sure it's branded. All these things are branded. And here's one logo that's on here. I see 1-800-Flowers, the Virgin Experience are together joining, combining like Voltron to create this post. But, like posts like this, there's no, actually it's here up top. We got one. Great job, designer. 2, but essentially you want your logo to be upon here. And I want to redesign this. I like this for all the other Valentines in your life. And these are, so I would essentially get one of these for my daughter. So yeah, so let's get into it. And I'm excited. Oh, let's just go to Facebook too. Facebook is just what is on Facebook is on Instagram. What's on Instagram is on Facebook. It's just when you post to every social network essentially. So pretty much everything's the same. Everything's the same. So, all right, but we're going to get into it. And, we're going to do these. No logo on this. Come on. So anyway, let's get into it. And we're going to take this to, let's see. We're going to take it to Illustrator and Photoshop. Photoshop, I'm going to cut out some images. And Illustrator, I'm going to create my graphic, essentially. All right, so let's make it happen. Let's go. All right, so now I'm in Illustrator. I downloaded and cut out some images previously in Photoshop, much like this little bear plant. This other little bear. Extending my canvas. Now I want these images to be really just transparent in circles, essentially. And that's where my thinking is. As I start out, I'm just going to get my copy in there. Thinking about making the background black, but no, I'm against it because I'm looking at their social media and nothing is black. So we don't want to really disrupt their pattern they have. So I want to get a background pattern which I'm really going to create in Photoshop, and use this image that I downloaded from Google Images. Now I have it in here. I just selected the same paths, the same colors. I want to make sure I can control each color within this pattern. So if I want to change things to gray, black, red, yellow, anything, I can change it. So that's the beauty about Illustrator. Once you create a shape or bring something in or trace something out, you can control the color within it, essentially. So, and that's what I'm doing right now. Just seeing what colors that I want, what colors I want in the background. I was thinking about making the background gray, essentially, but now I'm going to create a pattern. I have my pattern in my palette, essentially. Put in here, I'm going to lessen the opacity. So it's a little bit transparent, well, very transparent. You kind of see it in the background. Get my copy in there, the title, well, the sub and the title. Looking for a font that closely matches what they have on the right-hand side. What they have on the right-hand side is pretty volunteer and condensed, essentially. So I'm not going to find exactly that font. And there's ways that you can, but I'm not going to go through it now. Now I'm going to put this bear in a circle, already cut out. Going to make a clipping mask. Now that bear is in a circle. And there's actually two images. One image is on top of it, or actually on top of it, which is the cutout. And then one image is below also. So I'm thinking about maybe red, maybe keep it like that. But I'm going to, same thing with here. With this image, I realized I did not have this image. I did not cut this image out. So let me see if I can, create essentially a lockup on top for all the other Valentines in your life. I was thinking about right aligning it, but I'm going back to left, essentially. Maybe put a separator in here. I mean, that's okay. I mean, it looks good. Now I'm going to get their logo, make sure I have their logo. And I like that I'm able to change the color of it. So I'm going to, their mark, their emblem, their icon, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if they do this or they allow this, but I'm going to do it. I turned it all red for Valentine's Day, made it look like a separator at the top, essentially. I'm going to keep that green stem color that they already have, but the red tulip shape is going to be red. Well, the tulip shape is going to be red. Now, I mean, that's pretty unique. Their logo mark, icon, whatever you want to call it, on top with the copy. That's tremendous. So I'm going to look for this image. This image, when I first downloaded it, wasn't that big at all. So I want to cut it out, but I'm not going to do it right away. So I'm going to go back to Illustrator. Well, actually, there's a little part on the bear that I want to take out. Two little parts because I see it peeking out. Just going to erase around it, essentially. But we're really doing this, I really give that bear a little bit more depth and allow some hairs to come out. And not essentially cut out as far as like a square essentially is concerned. So, but now we're just replacing it. Now back in Photoshop, because now I'm going to look for this image. And I found it on a website, actually a Facebook page, but it's got somebody's logo on top of it. And it's just not gonna work. I'm not even gonna shout the name out because come on, people. So gonna cut it out a little bit more because I just want the vase to remain whole and intact, and the plate of strawberries to be intact also. So now we have the whole image aside from the table in the back. And now we were able to bring this in here and put it in the back, and we're gonna put it in a circle, clipping mask. If you saw that, it's a shape color, which is the pattern that we created. Now I have that in a circle. I'm going to move things around, try to line them up, essentially. But I realized I want the background too. So now the background's in there with the table, adjusting it, making sure it's essentially everything is lined up. And that's what we need. That's what we want. So everything to be completely lined up. Now, my cake pops, my kids love cake pops. Well, my little daughter loves cake pops. So I want to cut this cake pop out. I want the stems, not necessarily the stems, the holders, the lollipop, cake pop holders to be to come out of the circle essentially. So they'd be peeking out, much like the bear's head is peeking out, or the fruit on the previous image is peeking out. These cake pop holders are going to be peeking out. Just unique looks for all of these. Now, have these 3 images in a circle, just editing it. Editing, I cropped it, and that's what I'm editing the crop. Maybe I should put an outline, but I decide against it. And I think it's in a good position. Now for this image, I don't want the heart. I just want the bear in the roses. This is a bear plant, essentially. It's not going to be in a circle, just on its own. Just make it just a little smaller. The bear, I realize I don't want a red background. I want the actual background in there. So I need to adjust things and move things around in order for it to look good. All right. Nice. No, so now I'm satisfied with it. Now I'm going to put my copy for each and every one of these. I'm going to put a background above the copy, above the product title. Well, below the product title. Product title making white. And it's that dark red. Essentially what is the title color. Valentine's in your life. So same red that we're using. We're not going to mix mini reds at all. Now we have all three titles going. I'm going to adjust some sizing, just some spacing. But I like it. You know, I mean, it's different from what's on the right-hand side. A little bit more designed. I think it's pretty cool. Are we satisfied? Are we satisfied? We're satisfied. So now I want to create a second version of this. So that's the first version I'm creating. I'm creating 2 versions of it. And the second version, I'm thinking about slashes. What do I mean by slashes? I mean by angled corners. Angled corners. I'm going to edit this typeface on a very unique typeface. Looks like love, essentially. I decided on this typeface. Now here are my angled corners. Now what I'm creating is shapes, and what's going to go in these shapes are those images. Same concept. We're going to essentially make each and every one of them jump out of that shape that we created. That shape is still going to maintain a background. That background, it's going to be, you know, that red color, that Valentine's Day color. And same thing I just did with the bear plant. Same thing I'm going to do with this bear. Make this background red, but angled. I want everything on an angle. But as I get to this image, I'm realizing maybe everything needs to be turned around. But let me just go through this, get my last image in here. So I think everything needs to be turned around because that last image is going to hit the top, cover the title of our graphic. So I want to reflect everything, move everything to the right, essentially. And that's what I did. But I realized also I need to adjust the images and the bear, the hug bear. I need to reflect him, really just turn him around. Maybe, I was thinking maybe should be an outline on each and every one of these. I'm against it. So now just editing the other bear, making sure it lines up. There we go. Yeah. So this is the look that I'm going for, angled. Everything's on an angle, but everything's coming out. And I'm able to really utilize the space for the text that's next to the image. I changed this typeface because I wasn't feeling the previous one, and this one's a little bit more bolder. I was thinking about just having it red, a different color red, so we just go over that shape, but I'm going to edit it. And so I'm going to bring in my copy, the product titles. I like it. I like the way that this looks. It looks like it's designed. It's very designed, and that's where we're getting at. But I realize now that the product titles aren't lined up. So I was trying to make the title black, but I'm against it. So we'll delete those. Now everything's lined up. Essentially, now I want to create a new graphic, something brand spanking new. Just adjusting these. And what I want to create is something about Valentine's Day, a social post, something about Valentine's Day that just screams Valentine's Day. This is something that they don't have, but I was inspired by their photos on their website. This photo of the roses, a top-down look of the roses. I think that's what a tremendous look. So maybe this is a social media post, a story, a reel, essentially, where Valentine's Day, each Valentine's Day, it comes in starting from the top to the bottom. It could, come in, fade in as far as the opacity is concerned. But each and every one of these is a different weight. Each and every Valentine's Day is a different weight. But as I'm going through this, I'm getting different ideas on what to do, on how to do it. So I'm going to set the opacity really just ranging from 10 all the way to 100. Should it be black? I'm going to make everything red because it's Valentine's Day, of course. Should I put one at the bottom? Maybe, not too sure. Maybe put the logo at the top. But it's something. I'm getting somewhere, and the idea is flowing. So if these were just say this, what would the messaging on top say? The messaging on top should say something like "Today is," and then it's screaming. Each and every one of those Valentine's Day is screaming Valentine's Day. I was trying something different with their logo mark, but didn't work. I don't like it. So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna put "Today is" at the top. So today is, but I want it to be in a handwriting color, like handwriting typeface, like someone hand wrote this, like it's Valentine's Day, it's Valentine's Day. You got to get your roses, it's Valentine's Day. So literally it's screaming, today is, and go to the site, go get flowers. Do not forget what today is. It's Valentine's Day. Because if you get home and your wife, spouse, partner hasn't gotten anything, you are going to get it. So today is Valentine's Day. So I'm going to make that I is capital for is, but we're going to put in another image, and they have these chocolate roses, which is amazing. I love chocolates. Well, vanilla chocolate at that. Put a shadow, drop shadow behind it. Maybe that could work, but I like the one with the top down look, because essentially that shadow is coming down on it, because you're looking at the top and there's a shadow. Should there be one with the chocolate roses where you're just looking at it? If you're looking at it straight on, I don't think so. So we're gonna really take it out. If I can't create a realistic shadow at this point, in Photoshop I can do it. On Illustrator, I've never done it before. So, all right. So last post is, so today is Valentine's Day. But the last one that you're gonna see is "You're welcome." You're welcome. 1-800-FLOWERS. You're welcome. Easy, just easy. They're going through your reels, they're going through your stories, and today is, and then the last one is "You're welcome," because we helped you out. But I like the way it came out, just lining everything up. But it's beautiful. I love its stance. I love how it flows. I'm going to edit a few more things, but listen, I'm ready to show this to you guys. All right. So here you go.